on the broadcast, we're learning that the BCCI has now gone on to file a complaint against Rauf and Sahibzada Farhan to the ICC. The Pakistan Cricket Board has also lodged a protest against Surya Kumar Yadav. India has filed an official complaint with the ICC against Pakistan cricketers Rauf and Farhan for their provocative gestures, remember, during the two sides Asia Cup Super 4 game last Sunday. The BCCI filed this complaint against the duo this Wednesday, and ICC is in receipt of that email. In fact, an ICC hearing is now expected to take place in the case of Sahibzada Farhan and Rauf, and they have gone on to, in fact, on their part, deny the allegations that have been put forth against them by India in writing. They might, we are told, have to appear before the ICC elite panel referee, that's Richie Richardson, for a hearing. My colleague Vineet Ramakrishnan is joining us on the broadcast. Vineet, this was something that had sent the internet into a tizzy. That entire gesture, the provocative gesture, particularly amid this ongoing debate of whether India should play Pakistan after Operation Sindoor and what had happened in Pahalgam. And that gesture really added a lot of fuel to the fire. So the fact that now there is a complaint with the ICC, there's also a response by the two Pakistani players in writing denying all these allegations. Which way is this headed? And when are they supposed to be appearing before the elite committee?
Well, ever since those gestures were made by the Pakistan players, be it Rauf or Sahibzada Farhan, this was coming. It was brewing that a complaint would be filed because these were provocative gestures. The ICC Code of Conduct would come into play. About the hearing, it would be soon enough. We are hearing that the BCCI had filed this complaint. So hearing could be before the final itself. Would they, both Rauf and Sahibzada Farhan, if they go ahead and say they had not done anything wrong, it was not provocative, then the hearing would happen. If they, accept the charges, then there would be some demerit points, there would be some sanctions onto them. Hearing may not happen. But what we are hearing is that both these players and the PCB would be denying those charges, that it was not provocative, it was not outside of the ICC Code of Conduct. So the hearing most likely would happen before the final itself. This week itself is what we are hearing. But on the flip side, what we are also hearing is that PCB have did a counter here as well, and they have gone ahead and put a complaint to the ICC against Surya Kumar Yadav, stating that...
Yes, what is that all about? Yeah, please go ahead, Vineet. What is that complaint by the Pakistan Cricket Board against Yadav all about?
Well, it doesn't hold any water because the complaint is based on the fact that Surya Kumar Yadav, after the post-match during the post-match presentation in the first game, dedicated the win to the Pahalgam attack victims, and then again in the post-match presentation also he reiterated that the win is dedicated to the Indian Army. So we are hearing is that PCB has countered this and put a complaint to the ICC saying that this was a political statement and it breaches the ICC Code of Conduct. But then again, the complaint itself may not hold water because it's been more than 7 days, and if you have to put in a complaint, it should be within that window of 7 days. So we are not really sure that even the PCB's complaint would hold water in this regard. But then again, it's very clear-cut kind of a retaliation. If India had went ahead and complained about Pakistan, Pakistan had to do something, PCB had to do something. So it was kind of retaliation there as well. And the third aspect,
Right, Vineet, in your experience, which way do you see this headed? It can't be a war of complaints, because here you're likely very rightfully putting across how they've taken these good amount of 7 days to just put out any complaint as a counter to the complaint that India has put. But these are the visuals that speak for themselves, and this was something that got the entire nation talking. In fact, the entire world, the global community talking. This gesture is a very, very provocative gesture. What political statements are they even talking about? We all know what had happened between India and Pakistan.
Well, of course, look, that is the whole point. It's definitely a grey area. The Code of Conduct is definitely a grey area. And this celebration by Sahibzada Farhan, okay, if you look at it, from the point of view of the visuals, the gun celebration has been done by many other cricketers. But it is the context in which, the political scenario, the scenario in which he chose to do it. And he himself, Sahibzada Farhan, was asked about this during one of the post-match press conferences. He said that, it was not something that he had planned, and it happened on the heat of the moment. Well, to put that out, that kind of a celebration, especially during the political scenario against India, it has to be deliberate, and it was political in nature. Everybody knows it. Now it is up to the panel to see that it was political enough to give sanctions on them. While Pakistan would stand by their players and they say, oh, it was nothing political, and they'll try to deflect the issue, saying that, okay, if this is political, what of Surya Kumar Yadav's statement there? But there are two different things. It was a statement. Those kind of statements are always there. But these kind of actions during the field, in the middle, towards directed at Indian fans, directed at the Indian players, even Haris Rauf with his taunt of that plane crash, everything was, again, looks very provocative, but as I said, it's always a gray area. There could be sanctions, there could be hearings, but always a gray area. But clearly what Pakistan did is a provocation at its best, and not just Pakistan. On Wednesday, PCB chief himself, the Mohsin Naqvi, who's also the Asian Cricket Council president, PCB chief, and the Interior Minister of Pakistan, put out a shameless tweet as well of Cristiano Ronaldo's celebration akin to this plane crash dive kind of a thing. He put that on his Twitter. I mean, this is the ACC chief, the PCB president that you're talking about. So again, it's not just the players also, it is Naqvi.
That's how low it can go down to. Show it on the scoreboard if you're playing India. Clearly, the scoreboard speaks for itself. These gestures, whether they are these provocative gestures, they have gone to the lowest of lows. Pakistan doesn't really have a case. But let's see which way is this headed. Vinny, thank you so much. Now, India have stormed into the Asia Cup final, and that is what I meant with the scoreboard, and Pakistan needs to see this. This is a 41-run win over Bangladesh. Abhishek, in fact, dazzled yet again. The spinners, in fact, choked the chase, and Sri Lanka have now crashed out. Now, Pakistan versus Bangladesh becomes a virtual semi-final for a shot at India in the summit clash. Let's take a look at this report.
India are the first team into the Asia Cup 2025 final, sealing a 41-run win over Bangladesh and in the process knocking Sri Lanka out of the tournament. The equation is now simple. Pakistan versus Bangladesh today is a straight shootout for the right to face India in Sunday's final. The night began with another burst of fireworks from Abhishek Sharma as he blazed to 64 of just 32 deliveries, racing India to 72 without loss in the power play and setting up what looked like a 200-plus finish. But once Shubman Gill fell and Rashad Hussain got into the act, the innings shifted. Rashad removed Dubey, then produced a direct hit to cut short Abhishek's knock at 75, the turning point of the innings. From there, Bangladesh bowlers dragged it back, Saifuddin and Mustafizur Rahman closing superbly to keep India to 168. The chase revolved around Saif Hassan. He battled through 4 lives, shelled chances that could have ended his stay much earlier, and even as he resisted, the support cast collapsed. Parvez Hussain Emon was the only other batter to reach double figures, and once Bumrah finally got Saif, the resistance snapped. India's spinners were decisive, sharing 5 wickets and squeezing the middle overs into stranglehold Bangladesh never broke free from. Despite a sloppy night in the field with those missed chances, India always had control of the game. So, India marched into the final, Sri Lanka bow out, and all eyes turned to Dubai. Pakistan versus Bangladesh, a virtual semi-final to decide who takes on the men in blue in the summit clash.